Hi, Alicia. My name is Matt Gress. I live just outside of Nashville, Tennessee. And I just wanted to respond to your post this evening. I've found your thoughts interesting. And so I'm going to just dive right in. Before I actually go and discuss directly the things that you read about, I wanted to just do a side note to lay sort of a foundation here, because we're exploring sort of similarities and threads that we find woven throughout, the Mexican culture and how this relates to this cross-cultural family here with a young lady that is from, the Southwest United States. And as they say, comes from a typical American home. And then we have the husband who comes from a family of Mexican immigrants, specifically a single mother. But before I really just go at some of the things that we point out that are cultural norms and things that may be affecting their situation, I wanted to read just some really quick two quotes here from Counseling Latinos and La Familia from Santiago Rivera et al. From 2002. And just a real simple, short one right here. It says, within and between Latino ethnic groups, differences are considerable. And then just a couple of sentences down, it says, thus in counseling, the individuals presenting issues and objectives have to be placed and viewed through various contextual lenses. And, I just see that as, even within culture, even if within small locations or even in the United States, if we look at different areas of the United States, yes, there are things we have in common and there are threads we have, but each person views even their own culture through their own lens. And so when even dealing with this couple that we're talking about this week, yes, there are things that we need to be aware of and we need to learn about and dig into their heritage of both parties involved. We need to also remember that, it's their perspective on even their own culture and how that weaves itself through their own life that is important. So you say that Mexican culture has a strong Spanish and Catholic influence. You talk about how family is so important and that it's not unusual for families to have their parents live with them and invite their extended family sort of in, and that might be clashing with the wife's viewpoint in this marriage. And, that is very, very possible. And there are differences there for sure in the way that we sometimes treat our elders or even parents, that differentiates itself from how many other cultures do, including the Mexican culture as a whole. And I just wanted to read from Peterson et al., Counseling Across Cultures from 2016. And I know a lot of us have kind of looked at this one passage here on page 165, but I'm just going to pull a couple of pieces out. They say they have a very intense sense of privacy and protectiveness, a profound religious faith, also a sense of men's leadership and loyalty, and also close-knit sense of family within a hierarchical structure. Sorry, I can't talk tonight. And so there's a lot of things that could be at play here. What's interesting, though, is Carlos, because he does most likely place a strong emphasis on family, he is going to have this sort of rub between his loyalty and his need to help out his family, through his father and all of those things, and then his family that he's created with his wife, and even potential future family, even though they're having difficulty right now having children. So he could really be having some internal struggles here that I think could be, culturally based on his upbringing, his heritage, and all of those different things. And so I think those are all issues that we need to look at. And then the sense, also it talks about the strong sense of privacy. This may inhibit work, working with a counselor or such. So all of those things are coming into play here. And so I think I just jumped off of what you were talking about there, how we need to really look at all of those things and explore those issues when talking with this couple. Thank you, Alisha. I would ask you, how would you approach this situation if you were the counselor sitting here asking the questions? Thank you, Alisha.